Hey everybody, it's Mr. Greg. I hope everyone is having a fantastic night. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that y'all are here. We're so excited to have our friend Sharyn Kish joining us. Hey Sharyn.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited that you're here. We are excited that you're a part of Elevate. We know that this is a crazy busy time for everybody. So we're just thankful that y'all are taking some time out of your night to hang out with us tonight. We're going to have some great conversations about data and all the things. We're going to be talking about Elevate. And as always, we have some amazing giveaways. So it's super easy to enter to win our giveaways. All you have to do is hit the share button, invite your friends to join us, and get in the comments. You can tell us where you're from. How many days do you have left? What questions do you have about data? So hit the share button, get in the comments. The more you share, the more you comment, the more chances you have to win a free ticket to Elevate Virtual, a groovy planner from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord, 2 notepads of your choice from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord, and we're giving away a $25 gift card to the TKS store. So y'all, we have all the prizes. Hit that share button, invite your friends to join in on the fun, get in the comments. The more you share, the more you comment, the more chances you have to win. So if you do not follow Sharyn on social media, on Instagram especially, you have to follow her. She is phenomenal at making games and activities in the classroom. And so Sharyn, you are such an inspiration to me because of how you make learning, and especially phonics, so much fun. And so I'm so excited to get to talk to you tonight about data and how we can fill in those gaps. So I know you and I adore you. So please introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, well, I adore you as well. And I'm so happy and proud to be a part of Elevate. My name is Sharyn Kish, and I'm a kindergarten teacher in Ohio. I say that because I identify as Kinder Kish, and I will always be a kindergarten teacher forever and ever and ever. I've been in education for 29 years, taught kindergarten for, this will be year 14. However, and I'm not sure that many people know this, but this past year, this current school year, I was a Title I teacher. So I was the reading specialist, one of 2 reading specialists at my school. I'm in a K-5 building, and it was presented to me at the end of last year. And I thought, you know what? I love literacy so much. I love engaging kids in those engaging activities. And I really wanted to make a difference. And I thought, you know what? This is great. It'll be a challenge, but I'm up for it. And it has been a great experience. However, I am going back to kindergarten next year because, like I said, I am in my heart always Kinder Kish. But no, it was a fantastic experience. And I'll tell you, it was so interesting to me because for many years I'm in my kindergarten bubble, with my kindergarten team, not really knowing I shouldn't say not knowing what's going on out there, but I was apart from first grade and second grade and third grade, fourth and fifth. And boy, this year, like my eyes were really opened, really wide to see where those gaps are, what skills some of our students are missing, and just, the struggles that some of those kids go through, and also, the progress that they have made this year. And some of them still struggling. So what are we going to do with those kids? So that's at the point like where I am right now at the end of the year, thinking, okay, this is great. We celebrate the success of a lot of these students, but then there are still some of those students that I'm really concerned about.
And, we talked about this a little bit before we went live, and I can't wait to dive a little bit more into that, because I think it is such a unique perspective that you have. And this is something that I'm really glad that Elevate is focusing on this year, because you have this data session at the Elevate virtual, and then in person, Katie Knight and myself, we're doing a data session, because we see this as an area that we need support in. And so I'm really glad that Elevate has taken this initiative to focus on this area, because and we can get into this a little bit later, but I'm really thankful that Elevate has taken this step to really focus on data and what we can do with our data. So if you haven't yet registered for Elevate Virtual, you need to register now, because Elevate Virtual starts in 10 days. 10 days, T-minus 10 days, y'all. You don't want to miss out. And at the end of the month, the price goes up. So click the link in the comments or in the description. Use the code Sharyn. That will save you an extra 25% off. That's going to get you access to Elevate Virtual beginning June 1st. You'll have 90 days, June 1st to August 31st, to access all of the recorded sessions. All of Elevate Virtual is recorded. You have unlimited access from June 1st to August 31st to more than 30 sessions, 4 keynotes, $500 in downloads, which you can access anytime during those 90 days. We have $10,000 in giveaways. You get a certificate. You can also get college credits. You can access it on your computer or on the new Elevate app. So we have everything you need. And again, it's all pre-recorded. It's all right there for you. And the great thing is, the conference is already built. It's done and it's ready. So on June 1st, 8 a.m. Central Time, it goes live, and you will have access to all of that content, all of those downloads for 90 days, as much as you want. You can watch, rewind, rewatch, fast forward. You can watch them every day for 90 days if you feel like it. That's the great thing about a virtual conference. So get registered, click the links, use the code Sharyn to save an extra 25% off. So, Sharyn, as we talk about data, I think you made a good point talking about the gaps. And one of the things that Katie Knight and I talked about, and one of the things we talked about in our in-person session, is we have this data frustration, right? Because we have these meetings, we have to give all of these assessments. When we go to these data meetings, we look at the data, and that's it. And then it's like it's a rinse repeat cycle, right?
Yes.
We do some more tests, we have another meeting, we go on. What do we do with the data? Right?
Exactly.
And I love the fact that you've now seen what that looks like, not only in kindergarten, but in all grades. So
yes.
Can you share a couple of your takeaways? What are some of the biggest gaps that you noticed?
Well, I have to say, I'm part of my building leadership team, which I'm also part of the MTSS team. So what's really great is that I am able to work with the K-5 teachers, which is really amazing. And like you said, it's like you have all of this data, you have all of these numbers. What does it mean and how do I make sense of it? So that's what I try to do in my session, is like, okay, we're looking at this data. Why? Oh, okay. We want to make sure that we have a solid tier 1 instruction, right? So whatever your district chooses to use as one of their assessments that you're going to dive into. So, okay, you get the report back. What does this mean? Like you said, it's like you could, great, we'll highlight some names and, there's a lot of numbers, there might be colors, but then what? So what I'd like to do in my session is take it to that next step. It's like, we need an action plan. So
yes,
we need the action plan. And these are the steps in this action plan for really that tier 2 instruction, because now we have identified some of those students who, they need more help. So how are we going to do this? Where is this going to happen? Who is doing it? How often? All of those questions. And then I kind of liken it to like a trip to the doctor. And so I kind of take you through the doctor's office and the doctor's appointment, and we kind of go along and we hit on a lot of those areas through the analogy of being at a doctor's visit. And, just going through the analogy in my head and, writing out the presentation, it's like, we should get paid a lot more money, because we really are like physicians. We are writing those prescriptions for that student's reading, literacy. I mean, really, I say that, but no, for real, teachers need to make more money. But the amount of things that we're doing and analyzing, and we are really making it explicit to these students, that are missing some of these skills. What we really do, all of us, is amazing. And, I know everyone pretty much is on board with the science of reading, but there are still people out there who they want, they have heard of it, they've read about it, maybe their district hasn't really adopted it yet, or they don't think that they have the proper materials. Well, we talk more in my session too about things that you can do. So even if you don't have an MTSS team, or you're not talking about that in your TBTs or your grade level meetings, what can you do as a teacher or a grade level or a building or a whole district to help this problem that we have, this crisis, right? To help us with discovering, an action plan that really will ensure that all students are getting exactly what they need and making progress.
Yeah. And I love your analogy of the prescription. Like, we literally are writing the prescription for their reading. I love that. And 100%, we should all be paid as much as a doctor.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
So can I
say, I just wanted to tell you, so in my district, so we use the DIBELS, but we also use the PASS assessment. So we are looking at, there's 10 areas of the phonemic awareness, and I get into that in my presentation. But what I have found with that data from my kindergarten and first grade, even into second grade friends that I've been servicing, we are like an OG district, Orton-Gillingham. So yes, we do the Orton-Gillingham method, right? So, and again, being tier 2, I am, the students come to me. I have about 6 or 8 kids in a group. But what I'm seeing is some of these students, when they're manipulating sounds, they can't take apart blends. You know why? Because we've always been told blends. If I say, the word is black, take away, what am I getting from K1 and 2? Ack, and I have to black. And so what I wouldn't have known this, not doing this position this year, where I see like, okay, that's a red flag. Like, Orton-Gillingham, we are taught to teach those blends. But what a different assessment is asking the students to do is a little bit different, and they can't do it. So again, aligning our instruction so that they're successful when, they have to perform on some type of assessment, So we've been working really hard on that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you pointed out the blends thing, because I see that with my kids, and we use our assessment is Fast Bridge. Okay. And when we look at the segmenting, like, they made tremendous growth, but if you break it down, guess what the ones they missed were the blends, because they have to be able to say st, right? They have to say both of those sounds, and they can't, because naturally when we speak it, it comes out as that one st. And so getting them to break it apart is really hard. So I find it fascinating that we see that continuing, and it becomes a red flag, and then you really start to see it in their writing, right?
Yes.
Because they'll
delete a sound.
Yes. Like, they'll say the shirt is black, but it'll say the shirt is back, because they don't get that in there. So I love that you are seeing that and that you shared that.
Yeah. And when I'm doing activities with kindergarten or even first grade for phonemic awareness, I have like little like plates that we can, use for each separate sound. And so that was when I really had noticed, I'm like, uh-oh, there is, this little issue that I'm seeing. So I worked so hard to try to get that fixed. And again, you don't know until you're in that situation. And now I really have those kids thinking about it, and using tons of manipulatives to manipulate those sounds, so that way they can do it on their arm, they can do it in sound boxes, but again, it's getting them to separate them, so that way what they know shows on that assessment.
Do you have a favorite activity that you can share with us? Something simple that you found that has been helpful? Because I know you are the queen of these activities, so I know you've got plenty to share with us.
Well, I like to use a lot of like the magnetiles, and I just bought some from Lakeshore that have the letters on them. So with those students, I've really been using the letters to help manipulate, and I think that's really helped them. But I love using the magnetiles. I love using like plates, that they can manipulate. I love even just using colored cards, for like vowel intensive drills. And this is just so super easy where, if you're just saying a sound and they have to just hold it up, or I can say a word and they have to listen for the middle sound, the vowel, and they hold it up. So super easy. Even parents can do this with different colored note cards at home, or Post-it notes, or they can tap it, have them in different parts of their room so they can go to that spot. But I think anything that gets them up and moving, that's so important. So again, a lot of the students that I'm seeing this year, they need that engaging activity, because they've been sitting, and let me tell you, they can't even find a seat because they're up all and around, all around and just going. But really, it's just trying to keep them as active as possible and engaged in those activities.
Well, and I love the magnetiles because my kids, Adeline is obsessed with the magnetiles. My kindergartners are obsessed with the magnetiles. So imagine how much more engaging a phonics lesson or a phonemic awareness lesson will be with magnetiles. And, they can be a little pricey, but y'all listen, get on social media, go on Facebook, make a post. Hey, I need some magnetiles for my classroom. Anybody want to donate some? Does anybody have some? Because I guarantee you, we all know people whose kids have outgrown the magnetiles and they're piled up somewhere, and they would be more than happy to donate them. But that is such a great tool that the kids are already obsessed with. So why not bring that obsession and that joy into your lessons? So I love it. And this is exactly what we're going to give you at Elevate. Already, Sharyn's given you like 3 or 4 ideas that you could do tomorrow, right? Imagine how much more you're going to get in her Elevate session. So make sure you register for Elevate Virtual. We are T-minus 10 days away from Elevate Virtual. Click the links in the comments in the description to get registered. Use the code Sharyn to save 25% off. That makes your ticket to Elevate Virtual $75. That gets you 90 days, unlimited access from June 1st to August 31st to all of the recorded sessions, more than 30 sessions, 4 keynotes, $500 in downloads for your classroom, $10,000 in giveaways, a certificate, all the things. So get registered. Don't miss out, because imagine how much more inspiration we're going to get from Sharyn in her session. And I'm pumped. Like, I can't wait to hear you talk more about this doctor analogy. I love that. So I can't wait. And also, don't forget, we have some amazing giveaways going on right now. We are giving away a free ticket to Elevate Virtual. We are giving away a Groovy planner from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. We're giving away 2 notepads of your choice from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. And we're giving away a $25 gift card to the TKS store. All you have to do to enter, hit that share button. The more you share, the more chances you have to win. And the more you comment and interact in the comments, the more chances you have to win. So you were, Sharyn, you were sharing the vowel cards. So one thing I did this year, because middle vowel, 18 of my 20 students this year are EL. So the middle sounds, because of the accent, especially those middle vowels have been so hard. And so one thing I did was I ordered the little, like those buzzers off of
Yes.
Amazon. I think you get like 4 of them for like $15. And
Yes.
so I put them out with the vowel cards. So I just wrote like A, E, I, and stuck them out. And the kids came up and I would say dog, and they would have to say this, segment the sounds and then tap the correct buzzer for the vowel. And then the rest of the kids would be like, yeah, you got it. Or, oh, try again. And then they would all segment the sound, and the kids loved it. It was so and then we've used those buzzers for so many things. Like, it was best $15 I've spent this year. But it was so much fun, and it was a great way for us to really target those middle vowel sounds, but also it was a great way for me to get a little informal data, right? Some of that observational data, because I'm sitting there watching them, listening to them, so I could get some information about what they were doing.
Yeah, and that's just the thing too, even with like with the vowel tens. It doesn't always have to be just paper pencil, but when you're working with that group of students at tier 2, you're pulling them over for 5 or 10 minutes a few times a week. It doesn't have to be paper and pencil. Yes, it can be on a dry erase board. It could be even I use these plates for everything. If you've seen my Instagram, I like to use a lot of these for different things. But you can write a few sounds on, or a few letters on the plate, and then you can call out a sound, have them erase the letter that correlates with the sound. So again, it's just that your informal observation, but yet we're always looking and assessing those students, right, every day. But again, just presenting it in a different way. It's not just I'm flashing the card, we say the sound, I have them write that on paper, but again, just something different. And you would think that when I pull these out, like, oh, wow, we're going to use the plates again. Well, yes, yesterday we used the dry erase board, but today we're going to use the dry erase plates.
Right.
But anyways, just switching it up a bit, but super easy.
Well, and that's the thing is, we have to keep them engaged, right? They're so used to constant entertainment. So, we love our dry erase boards. We bought a couple years ago, I ordered Frisbees from Amazon, and we pull those out. Now, I don't pull those out a lot. Those are something I only pull out occasionally. But the kids go crazy when I pull those out. But this year, I used chalkboards. My mom, years ago, my mom worked at a furniture factory, and they gave her a bunch of these pieces of square wood. And so she painted them with chalkboard paint and made me, I have 30 of them. So I have a class set of them. The kids went crazy. They would much prefer those over the dry erase boards. Like, every time we got those chalkboards out, the kids loved it. And we know friction is so good for that muscle memory, right? Yes. So there's a lot more friction when you're using chalk. But we're doing the same things. We're practicing the same skills. We just change that delivery a little bit. And again, that can all be data driven, right? We could those sounds on the plate, you could have done your assessments. We love ESGI, right?
Yes.
You could have assessed the kids on ESGI, looked at those most missed sounds, and you could put those on those plates, and you could target those sounds.
Exactly. That's exactly what we do, right?
And it's so easy. That's the thing, is that it's so easy. And that's the thing about data is I think we get caught up in this idea that, oh, we have all of this data. Now we've got to do something big with it. No, not really. We have the data. We know the sounds we're struggling with. We know we're having trouble with our blends. So what can we do with them? Magnetiles. I've seen people talking about poppets, dry erase boards, chalkboards, plates, all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Anything. And now that the weather is nice, we have, we try to take learning outside as often as we can, with like beach balls, practicing sounds. And then whatever they catch, they pick one of the letters that's in one of the hands, and they'll have to say a word that begins with that same sound. So again, that they really struggle with this. Everyone wants to say, B, ball. But if it lands on B again, you can't say ball. And it's really hard for them to think quickly. Kindergarten, first grade, even second grade. I did this with third and fourth grade too. We played this game, and I was really surprised how long it took them to come up with a word. But But again, that initial phoneme practice, there's a lot that you can do with that too. But taking the learning outside as often and as much as you can is a treat for them, but yet it still keeps them engaged because they're like, well, what are we doing out there? Well, okay, today we're going to do the decode and draw. So they might see the picture of the dog and they have to read it, but guess what? Now they have to draw. It's just taking that activity outside. Yeah. What we would maybe normally do inside, it's outside.
Yeah. I love that. Anytime we can go outside, I'm all for it. Except for right now, because we have the cicadas.
Oh, yeah.
They're aggressive and they're everywhere. So we're staying inside until the cicadas go away because we're not doing the cicadas. Listen, we went outside to recess on Monday and these cicadas were overly aggressive. Like really? It was the most entertaining recess we've had all year because the kids were losing their minds. The grown-ups were running like crazy people trying to get away from the cicadas. The kids were chasing us with the cicadas. It was a whole thing. So we will wait till the cicadas go away to go outside to do any more learning. But I love the beach.
Well, we have a whole big blacktop. We can't use a section, a little portion of our playground right now because Mama Duck has moved in and she's planted herself there. So it's kind of off limits for us right now. So we've got a big blacktop area that everyone can go out and can use and bring out their sidewalk chalk.
I love it. Yeah, so kids love the sidewalk chalk. And again, you get that friction, you get that muscle memory. So there was a question in the comments, and I just want to hear your thoughts on this.
Sure.
The question was, I think this is a fascinating question. What is the most important piece of data in kindergarten?
The most important piece of data? Well, that is a hard question,
right?
Yeah.
My first initial thought was, if I'm looking at skills and data, my first thought was the sounds, because if they can't identify, if they don't know the sounds, they're not going to be able to decode and read and write. Yeah. So that's where my mind kind of went. Now, of course, all of the data is important, but that's kind of where I went, because I'm like, yeah, if they know the name of the letter, that's great, but that's not going to help them read and write. Right. So that's kind of where I went. My first thought was,
And I would say, yeah, that's very important. But I feel like, again, there's elements of phonemic awareness that they have to even kind of master before we can, move into the letters and sounds. I mean, sounds, yeah, super, super important. But I'm thinking of segmenting the syllables, just like little things that we do for 10 minutes here and there. Yeah, I would just say a lot of that phonemic awareness, like you said, sounds, super important.
Right. And somebody said in the comments, we collect so much data, but what do we focus on? And I think the key to that is that differentiation.
Yes.
Right. Like you've got your strong tier 1 instruction, you collect this data, and then you're going to look and be like, oh, I've got 3 or 4 kids who can't get that middle sound. I've got some kids who are struggling with my blends. I've got some kids who are struggling with, segmenting. And then you can focus on each of those groups and focus on that data.
Right. And sometimes there are just so many assessments. And that's what, in my session, that's what I want to do, is talk about there's a purpose for different types of assessments. Okay. And so what is the purpose and what are we looking at? And in kindergarten, we can't look at 3, 4, 5, 6 assessments. Let's just pick 2. And then they may be giving us some different information, because the phonemic awareness one that I give, this pass, gives me different information than the Dibbles does at the beginning of the year. So I need those 2 pieces for me to make a better picture of what the student really needs. And so that's how I will go into planning for that tier 2, is by all of that information and highlighting and just seeing where those skills are not as strong.
Yeah. And I'm going to go back to your doctor analogy, because you think about a doctor, that's what a doctor does, right? You go to the doctor, you have something you want to talk about, they examine us, they do blood work, they do images, and then they look at all of that and they come up with a plan. And that's what we're going to do, right? We
Yes.
got all of our data, we've got our observations. We're going to sit down and look at that, and then we're going to come up with a plan to, as you said, write the prescription for their reading. So I love
Right. And you're going to see the doctor and I'm going to see the doctor. We may not be going for the same things, or we may be going for the same things, but guess what? I'm allergic to that medication and you can't have that. So now they have to think of something different for us. Even if we have the same issue going on, what's going to work for me and help me is not going to help you. So again, just different ways of looking at it. And so we will really talk about like those strategies and ways to get to those students who are really, really struggling.
And that right there is why we should be paid more, because this is what makes our jobs so incredibly hard, is that every child is different and every child needs something different, and they all need individualized instruction to help them succeed. And that's what we're going to do at Elevate Virtual. That's what Sharyn's session is going to help us do, is to take that data and act on it, right? Because I think we're all good at collecting the data. We can get the data. What do we do? And that's what this session is going to do. It's going to give us that next step. Here's the data. Here are things you can do with that data. Here's how you can address those gaps. So I can't wait. We've got a couple of minutes. We're going to wrap it up. So I want to give everybody one more chance to enter for tonight's giveaways. Hit those share buttons. Join us in the comments. You could win a Groovy planner from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. You could win a $25 gift card to TKS Store. You could win a free ticket to Elevate Virtual. Or you could win 2 notepads of your choice from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. This is one of the ways that I saw somebody talking about organizing data. This is one of mine, are these notepads, is how I organize a lot of my data. So hit the share button. Join us in the comments. The more you comment, the more you share. In the next minute or two, you can win some prizes. All right, Sharyn, kind of your final thoughts as we wrap up.
My final thoughts is that if you are signing up for in-person Elevate or virtual Elevate, you are in just for the biggest treat. It is the best place to come and learn with us and about science of reading and all of these things that will really help your literacy instruction. And there's other sessions as well, not just literacy. So there's SEL, there's math. I mean, it really is the best conference for K-2 educators and administrators. So bring your administrators.
Listen, this comment just showed up and it said, I learned so much from these lives. Think about how much you've learned from all of these Facebook Lives we've done over the last few months. Imagine how much more you'll learn at Elevate Virtual, right? If you're walking away from this 30-minute live with all of these great ideas and all of this inspiration, imagine what you're going to get at Elevate Virtual. We are 10 days away, y'all. Elevate Virtual kicks off in 10 days, which means you have 10 days to get registered. Use the link in the comments and the description and use the code Sharyn to save an extra 25% off. That will take your ticket price to $75. This is what it looks like. This is Elevate Virtual. It is ready to go. It goes live on June 1st. This is what it looks like. You'll get access to more than 30 sessions. They're all recorded, so you can watch them as much as you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, with a margarita, 3 a.m., in your bathrobe, wherever, on your laptop, on your phone with our new Elevate app. We're going to give you more than 30 sessions, 4 keynotes, $500 in downloads. Right there, it's worth the $75. Pay $75, never watch a session, but you get $500 in products for your classroom. So what more could you ask for? So get registered. You don't want to miss out on the virtual event of the summer. Click the links, get registered. Use the code Sharyn to save an extra 25% off. Somebody says they have countdowns going for days of school left. Elevate Virtual, Elevate Dallas. Somebody says that they got their margaritas ready. So y'all don't miss out. Elevate Virtual goes live in 10 days. Cannot wait for all of these amazing sessions. And I saw a comment come through that said, I wish admin would attend. Well, guess what? All of you who are watching, get your admin to register. You have 10 days to get them registered. And
Yes.
they will, just like you said, imagine if admin, and we know we have a lot of admin who come. Imagine if we get more admin on involved and they could see what's going on and they could learn as well, right? So everybody who's watching tomorrow, your job is to go to your admin and get them to register for Elevate Virtual, right? Oh, see, Crystal said we had a director register today. All right.
That's awesome.
And I know at Elevate in person, we actually have a separate track for administrators. So y'all get those out. Go. I'm giving everybody a challenge. Go tomorrow. Get those administrators to join us at Elevate Virtual this summer. All right. So let's do some giveaways. Who wants to win some prizes? All right. So here we go. First up, we will give away a free ticket to Elevate Virtual. If you are the winner of the Elevate Virtual ticket, all you need to do is send Crystal at elevateyourclassroom.com an email. Congratulations, Todd McIntyre. You've won a free ticket to Elevate Virtual. Todd, all you have to do is send an email to Crystal at elevateyourclassroom.com and she will take care of your ticket. Next up, we have a groovy planner from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. Make sure to visit bertoandco.com to grab your stickers, your planners, your notepads. We've got amazing swag bags. We've got all the goodies at bertoandco.com. So head over and get registered. So if you are the winner of the Groovy Planner from Berto & Co., then you need to send an email to kindersmorgy@gmail.com. And the winner of our Berto & Co. planner is Shelly Wilkerson. Congratulations, Shelly. You've won a groovy planner from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord. So send an email to kindersmorgy@gmail.com. Next, from Berto & Co. by the Kindergarten Smorgasbord, we have 2 notepads of your choice. So you will also send an email to kindersmorgy@gmail.com. And the winner is Anita Samuels. Congratulations, Anita. You've won 2 notepads of your choice from Berto & Co. So send an email to kindersmorgy@gmail.com and we will get you your notepads. And finally, a $25 gift card to the TKS store. And that winner is Anita. Anita should go buy a lottery ticket.
Yes, 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 yes.
Congratulations to Heather House. Heather, you've won a $25 gift card to TKS store. So send an email to kindersmorgy@gmail.com and we will hook you up with your gift card. Congratulations to all of the winners. And again, if you haven't yet registered for Elevate Virtual, do it now. We have 10 days before Elevate Virtual launches. Get registered. Click the links in the comments and the description. Use the code Sharyn to save an extra 25% off of your ticket price. Don't miss out on the virtual event of the summer. With one of the great things about Elevate Virtual, as Sharyn kind of alluded to, is all of our presenters are active in classrooms and schools. So we are sharing with you what we're doing in our schools and in our classrooms. It is real life. It is teachers and educators who are in it with us. We are all in this and experiencing it and going through it. And this is what we're doing to make our classrooms and our schools more successful. So that's one of the things that makes Elevate so unique, is that we are all in the trenches together. So Sharyn, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for joining.
I cannot wait for your session at Elevate Virtual. Thank you to everybody who joined us tonight for taking some time out of your busy schedules to hang out with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do for your students, your schools, your communities, and for our profession. Keep up the good work. Hang in there. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep making a difference. And know that we see you, we hear you, and we appreciate you. And thank you so much for inspiring us and encouraging us. We will see you all next time. Register for Elevate Virtual. See you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.